What's up everybody, Tom Costanza here, back with another YouTube video. Posting videos every single Sunday morning. Today, we are going to be making potato gnocchi using Joshua Wiseman's Unapologetic Cookbook. Very excited, this is gonna be my first recipe in the cookbook. Very excited to use it. Let's get started. Flipping all the way to page 72, we are going to be getting some potatoes, putting them in a large pot with boiling water, covering them for 30 minutes at a medium to high heat. We're looking to be able to stab them with a fork and the fork to move through them nice and easy. Okay, so we have our scale because the recipe says 2 pounds of russet potatoes. So this part I'm kind of unsure. We have our 2 pounds of potatoes. It's either I use a pot that's like this or this pot right here. And so what I'm gonna do is cut the potato into small chunks, hope that they boil and soften quicker, and they also fit in the pot. Okay, so we have to fill with water and we have a lid, so we're gonna cover it, put it on the stove top for 30 minutes, and then check back in. I know I'm well aware that I need to clean my stove top, but these are the potatoes. Okay, everybody, it is about that time. It's about that time. In a minute, I'm gonna need potatoes have been boiling for 30 minutes. Need to strain them. We're gonna strain them in the sink here, and then need to let them cool for, Josh says, about 10 minutes. Okay, now we have to wait 10 minutes. Once we wait 10 minutes, the potatoes should be pretty cool. Then we put them into a bowl and then we mash them with a potato masher, or since I don't have a potato masher, a nice steel fork. See you in 10 minutes. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. The next step is really to just peel the potatoes. So we don't want any skin in the gnocchi, so just peels right off if you did it right. So let's do this. Let's get a bowl that we're gonna mash, put our plain potatoes in, and then we'll put my skins in the sink. Hopefully you guys can hear me with this new microphone. I'm playing with it a little bit, but I truly have no idea what I'm doing. I was actually mind blown when I was listening back to my test footage. I was like, oh my God. This audio is so much better than what it was in the past. So previously I was recording on my iPhone, and it's just so hard to listen to somebody when they record on an iPhone. I guess it just has to do with like the surrounding background noise, but it's just like, I'm not screaming like Mr. Beast, you're just leaving my video. Next step, now that we have our potatoes, very important that you mash it while the potatoes are still hot. Once we mash it, then we cool it, let it come to room temperature, throw it in the fridge, but want to mash them while they're hot. It's also very important that if you're doing manual mashing, that you have some serious manpower, or whoa manpower. You like that joke? Here we have it, some nicely mashed potato. The next step that we have to do is let it properly cool. I'm gonna speed up the process by throwing it in the fridge for maybe 10 minutes or so. And then honestly, all we do is just add flour, salt, do some kneading, and then we'll show you the next steps. But I'm gonna put this in the fridge, check back in a little bit. Okay, while we're waiting for our potatoes to cool, I have set aside here our 300 grams of all-purpose unbleached flour. In addition to that, we need to add 6 grams or 1 tablespoon of fine sea salt. Since I have a scale, I'm just gonna measure out 6 grams. And then we whisk. Ooh. Okay, great. Now, this is a dirty whisk. Now it's a clean whisk. Never mind, it's still dirty. And we set aside. Whoopsies. Okay, our next step after the potatoes are cooled is to crack an egg into the potatoes. Mix the egg in. Next step is, once the egg is mixed in, to add half of our flour and salt. Then we mix that in. And that doesn't need to be fully incorporated, but once it's, for the most part, incorporated, add the rest of the flour. Now that that's mixed in, we probably get to my favorite part of any recipe that involves pasta or dough, and that's kneading. So I'm gonna roll up my wristband, take off my watch, dump out our pasta. Now with this, it's not perfect proportions, so it's kind of something where you just add flour as you go if you need to, but time to knead. Okay, so as I was kneading, I realized I did have to add a good amount of flour as I was going, really just to keep the work surface nice and clean, keep it from sticking to my hands. But what you want to go for is a nice smooth ball, and it's very soft, very like fluffy kind of, So we have a nice smooth dough potato ball. So once we have our dough ball, we're actually supposed to cut it into 6 equal pieces. And now we have to roll these into rods that are about a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, so in most places we have it about a 1/2 inch. And what we want to do is cut the gnocchi to 1 inch. And then you could either leave it as is, like a pillow, like this, they call it a pillow, or you can use the back of a fork and just run it down the bottom of a fork. That's the tricky part. They're not the most picture perfect gnocchi, but you'll see close-ups in a second. Okay, so we have our first of 6 done. I'm gonna turn the camera off and do this all off camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like once we have all of our finished gnocchi. Well, quite some time has elapsed since I have last spoken to the camera. I don't want to talk about my experience, but we have our gnocchi here. I did half of them rolled on the fork. The other half, we'll call them pillows. I did not roll them on a fork. This is a lot of gnocchi. We have our big bowl of water boiling behind us. And the next step is to take all of our gnocchi, throw it in the boiling water, let it cook for a few minutes until everything rises to the top, and then dinner is served. Again, don't want to talk about how long it took. I do want to talk about hitting the subscribe button and the like button because I actually had a cramp in my thumb from doing this. Okay, we have our boiling water set. I have some gnocchi right here in a plate. That's gonna go on first. I really don't want to talk about that experience either. I thought gnocchi was gonna be easy. I experienced the worst. Putting in that gnocchi, I need some pointers in the comment section down below. I kid you not when I tell you that every single gnocchi that I put in, the water splashed up at my finger at every single one. This water was boiling and it hit my finger. All right, we have all of our gnocchi right here. I just put it into a strainer. Don't worry about what's going on here. Don't worry about what's going on here. Talk about that later. The only primal thing to do right now is taste the gnocchi like this. Very soft. Very delicate. Now it's time to plate this. Well, the most important thing to do now is take a bite. See how it is with some red sauce and some Parmesan cheese. It was really good. I give so much credit to chefs who make gnocchi. I thought it was gonna be some easy pasta recipe. Everything was easy except for rolling out all of the gnocchi. That was a ridiculous amount of work. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like the video, subscribe. Posting videos every single Sunday morning. I have a schedule planned out for the entire rest of the year. We got some holiday things coming into play. If you guys want to see me make something, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.